You're listening to the Save the Date podcast, where we talk all things weddings, jewellery and romance. With love from Cullen Jewellery.
Hello and welcome back to the Save the Date podcast. I'm Sheridan.
And I'm Juliette, and we're so happy you're here.
Today, we actually have a few tips for you on how to make sure your wedding day is a memorable one. Now, obviously, it's going to be memorable regardless, but we just have a few little tips because I think one really common thing when it comes to weddings is people kind of feel like you don't remember the day after it happened. Yeah. Same with like any real big event.
Bit of a whirlwind.
Yeah. There's just like so much happening and then, you wake up the next morning and you're like, what even happen? So hopefully these little tips might help you to not feel that as much after the big day.
Yes. So sit back, relax, and let's get straight into it.
So our first tip is all about timing.
Yeah.
So make sure that you plan your timeline like around you and your partner and what you guys want to be doing, and also make sure that you leave space in your timeline to like breathe in between each big like formality. I think,
and I feel like that also kind of gives you a little time to almost debrief quickly after each thing. So it's like it's just you and your partner away from everyone else, and it's almost that little 5-10 minutes where it's just the two of you, and you can just be like, like can't believe that just happened, or whatever it is. You can just spend those like little quality moments together. And I think naturally you'll just also kind of debrief about what just happened.
I think even like in the morning when you're getting ready, still try and like have those like moments of downtime, because in the same way that after you get married throughout the day, you can have those little moments like with your partner. In the morning, it's those moments that you have like with just by yourself or with your parents or your like wedding party or whoever it is, just to like, take a moment and really relish in the feeling of like, whether it's, 15 minutes that you've got free before you walk down the aisle of like, oh my gosh, I'm about to walk down the aisle and like go marry the love of my life. It's like such a big moment that if you've got everything planned, that the minute after you finish your hair and makeup, then you've got to get dressed and then you're getting photos done. And then the minute after that, you're going into the ceremony. You don't have the time to do that. And then you also risk things running over and you ending up way behind on your timeline. And then you don't have time for anything
the entire day. And I would also say that in these moments where you're just taking a breath and stuff, I mean, this is probably maybe more relevant in the morning where you might have your phone handy. I would maybe avoid just like using that time to like sit down and scroll, because I know sitting and scrolling can be a form of like relaxation or comfort for some people, but I feel like it's one of those things that is disguised as comfort and or relaxing, because your brain can kind of switch off, but you're also, it's taking you away from the actual moment that you're in, and you're focusing on or whatever else is happening on your screen. So it's like, I would encourage you to not use your phone in those moments.
Don't be distracted by whether it's your phone or a book or anything like that. Just be with yourself and the people around you. I also think it's super important for your wedding day, for like if there's anything that you want to do or spend time doing on your wedding day, make sure you include it in your timeline. And like I've written down here, even if it's as simple as making TikToks with your bridesmaids, because like making TikToks takes time, guys.
If you want to do that.
Speaking from experience. Like if you want to do like some fun transitions with your wedding party or just by yourself, like it can take a lot of time trying to do that. And I feel like I hear so often of people that record like the first half of a transition and then they just never get time to film the rest of it. So it like, I saw one today or yesterday that was like the bride forgot to the bride wasn't there when we needed to film the rest of the transition. They had the dad, their dad in the middle. I can't remember what it was, but
that works.
it was just like, it was very funny and wholesome. But like the bride, obviously, I'm sure wanted to have that transition. Yes, she's got like a funny thing from it now, but she's probably also a bit bummed that
she didn't get a chance to finish
to do it.
Yeah.
So yeah, even if it's like just really little things that might seem silly, that you'll be like, oh, like filming a couple TikToks, like it's fine. Like we don't really need to put that in.
Yeah.
Like make sure you do, because
even 20 minutes can make a big difference on the day.
Yeah, definitely. And if you're doing those transitions, make sure you put it in twice because you'll need 20 minutes for the first part and 20 minutes for the second.
Yes. Very key.
All right, our next tip is to hire either a wedding planner or a day of coordinator. Obviously, this isn't something that's like, I guess, accessible for everybody. And if you can't have a wedding planner or a day of coordinator, it's really not the end of the world. But it may just help you to actually be able to sit back and relax and just enjoy the day, because you've got somebody else taking on all of the like stuff on the wedding day.
Yeah.
Like they'll be doing all the setup and the takedown and the making sure people are in the right place at the right time.
Dealing with any hiccups.
Yeah.
That, things go wrong, or things are in the wrong place, things haven't arrived on time, all of that kind of stuff. You really don't want to be dealing with that yourself on the day. So it'll just fully make sure that you get to just enjoy it. And if you aren't able to hire someone to do this, try and like nominate somebody to do that on the day, and like have a helper. And like a friend or a family member. Someone that's good at planning things. Yeah. Someone who's also not in the immediate bridal party. So none of your bridesmaids, none of mother of the bride, father of the bride, parents of the groom, all of them. I would avoid them, because I guess that you want them to also be just as, stress-free as you are and enjoying the moment. So I would say extended family, extended friend, someone you can really trust and is organized and you can rely on. You could employ, nominate.
Well, to do this. I feel like you said about making sure it's not someone as part of that like close-knit team, I guess, on the day. Another thing with that is that you'll notice if they're gone trying to sort something out.
Yes.
Like that's why it's kind of important to not have it be them as well. Not just the fact that they might find it harder to enjoy the day, but you're going to notice if they're stressed or if they're running around chasing things up when like you wanted them, like you picked them for a reason to be there with
around you.
Yeah.
And secondhand stress is a real thing. You don't want that energy in the room. Okay. Bad vibes.
Yeah, you will pick up on it.
All right. The next one we have is that making sure that your celebrant really knows you and your love story. So kind of let them in on all those little details that just kind of make it that little bit more personal. And I feel like that kind of just brings everything to the next level.
Yeah.
And it's not just some like generic ceremony or something,
Yeah. I think that like there's something that I really didn't want brought up on our wedding day. Like it's just very embarrassing.
Yeah.
And I had said to Harrison, don't put it in your vows or your speech.
Yeah.
I did not tell him to not tell the celebrant.
Oh no.
So he found a loophole and the celebrant told the story, which is fine.
No.
It's so fine.
Yeah.
But it like made that more memorable.
Yes.
Because I like, as soon as she started, I was like,
oh no.
No. And like everybody gets a laugh out of it. It's like, it's embarrassing, but it's funny. Like it happened when we were like not together and we were at school and I was crushing on him.
That's cute.
So like it's just really funny, and like it's always something that he like makes fun of me for. But because the celebrant knew that, and then that kind of like helps the celebrant pick up on what your relationship is like a little bit, if you let them in on little inside jokes and things like that you are kind of like happy for them to spill to
as well.
But it does just make it that little bit more extra memorable that they're like actually telling stories about you that both of you know and love, I guess.
That's funny. Wait, so then when did you start dating, if you knew each other in high school?
We started dating the year after high school, but we were friends from like year 8.
Oh, cute.
Yeah.
Very cute. That's funny.
Yeah. No one asked me to tell the story. I will not be sharing it. You've got enough.
I'll get it out of it, guys. Come back for the show notes.
Juliette will find out, and then she'll
I'll comment on the next reel.
I'm thinking you'll come in and secretly record a little snippet.
Guys, I figured out what it was.
Oh my gosh, that's please don't.
Please don't.
Oh my gosh.
Yes. So in conclusion, all these things help.
Yeah,
really, like you were saying, the celebrant understanding you as a couple, and the dynamic and all that kind of stuff, which makes it a lot more personable. Is that the right word?
Yeah, or just like personal,
I
guess. Yeah.
Especially for your guests as well, where they feel like it's a very tailored ceremony to the people who they're coming to celebrate. It doesn't mean that like that ceremony portion has to be long. No.
Because it can still only be like 15 or 20 minutes. But it's just like that little like drops of who you guys are and like what your relationship has been like and how it's led you to getting married. Our next tip is to curate your perfect reception playlist. And I think a big thing with this is like, if there's a song that you and your partner absolutely love, but you know people like kind of don't like it, play it anyway.
Yes.
Because you guys enjoy it. And at the end of the day is about you and your partner and you two enjoying the day. So it doesn't matter if someone else would prefer to not hear a certain song or like anything, like play a certain game or whatever it is. As long as you guys are having fun, your guests will have fun as well. And like if a random song comes on that only you and your partner want to dance to, like it's another chance that you guys can just go and have a boogie on the dance floor.
Just the two of you have fun. Enjoy the moment. And I guess on the flip side of that as well, maybe also having a playlist of or a list of songs that you don't want played. Because I guess that's the opposite side of things, where it's like if there's a song that you just do not like and you hate, it's okay to ask your DJ to not play it if you don't want it at your wedding. Even if it's just like a general vibe as well, where it's like I don't want you playing any like country songs. I was like, what kind?
I don't know
what's
why
the genre
that
of songs?
came to my mind, because I kind of like country music.
So like all of that kind of stuff, where it's like, you're allowed to set the mood and the vibe of your wedding. When it comes to the music.
And another really big thing I think as well is picking what song is going to open the dance floor at the start of the night. And maybe that one is one that you know like all of your guests are going to be able to get around. Like I can't think of a song right now, but like make it a classic that like you know everybody loves. Like even, this is very Australian, but even if it's like the Nutbush. Because everyone is going to be up and dance.
That's not what I thought you were going to say. What was the like Mr. Brightside? I thought you were going to say that's like another like Aussie, like I don't know, you hear it at
just
every single Aussie party.
That too.
There's another one as well that they'll always play.
The Macarena.
September.
Can you imagine opening a dance floor to that? That is funny. I mean, you definitely could. But yeah, something that like, all your guests are going to get around. And the reason I think I said the Nutbush is because it's like a song that people dance to.
Yeah.
Everyone is kind of going to then want to get up on the dance floor.
Yeah.
And then they'll stick around.
Yeah.
Like they're more likely to stick around after that than if you play something like random that people don't really...
Doesn't get people up.
Yeah. And then in that same kind of vibe, pick a song that you want to close the dance floor with, which I think should probably be another like upbeat, really fun song that like everyone loves. I've seen people do like Love Story.
Oh yeah.
Leave by Taylor Swift. Yeah, like leave with everyone like, absolutely loving it.
Yeah.
And another thing actually that you could also do that I think is really cool is having a last dance. So like if you're doing like a grand exit, I guess is what it's called, get your coordinator or whoever to kind of like take everybody out away from the dance floor to set them up for your exit, and then have the DJ play like one last song, whether it's like, well, any song really, but it could be your first dance song again, it could be the song you walk down the aisle to, literally anything, and just have like another moment at the very end of the day or end of the night, I guess, with your partner, just like fully enjoying it.
Yeah. Okay. Next one is actually making a wedding day to-do list. So think about some of the top things that you want to do, or just really soak in and take the time to do those things on the day, so you make sure you do them. And I mean, with something like this in general, like you don't want to get too specific, I guess, with stuff, because then you don't want to be disappointed if then you don't get a chance to do it. But like with some of the kind of bigger things, it's good to kind of just like make a note of, I want to do this on the night sort of thing.
And like this might not be like, this is not necessarily things that are super structured, like that you need to put in your timeline, but more so just like, we put a lot of effort into making like this menu really curated for what we like. So you want to make sure that you're like actually sitting down for dinner and like enjoying the food, or you want to make sure that you're actually spending a lot of the night dancing on the dance floor. Like just make sure that you and your partner kind of know what you want to prioritize on the day or night, and like actually do it. Another big one for this is like if there's particular photos you want to get with people, like if you want to make sure you get photos with both of your parents on the night, or your grandparents, or if you want to get a sibling photo, all of those kind of things, where it's like they're probably more like those key things that it's like you may regret if you don't get them done on the night. But little things like that where it's like, which you can also tell your photographer to make sure we get a photo with these people in it, and they can help coordinate that as well. So it's not just on you. But it's like good to keep those things in the back of your mind so they just don't go completely forgotten. Yeah, the photos one I think is really important because you generally, like typically after your ceremony, you might do like 15 minutes of group photos. And so you would get photos with like your parents and your bridal party and your siblings and your grandparents or anything like that. But I also think, and this is something I don't really see people talk about that much, and it's something that I wish I had done, is actually get photos with people during the reception, because it's a bit more like relaxed, a bit less styled. Like during the kind of after ceremony photos, you're making sure you're holding your bouquet and your train is like looking pretty and your veil's on and all of this sort of stuff. But I have the funniest part about this is that I have one photo of like me with somebody like smiling at the camera, and it's with my brother-in-law.
Just random combo.
Just like it's not even like it's me and my sister, or like I think my mum and I maybe have, I think it's of us dancing. So it's like literally the only photo of me. Actually, there's two. There's one photo of me and my brother-in-law like just standing like arm around each other, smiling at the camera, and the other one is with my now nephew, but like Harrison's nephew. That's in.
That's it.
It was just like going through the photos when we first got them.
Yeah.
It was just like so random. I was like, oh, okay. I only have a photo with my brother-in-law and now my nephew. But yeah, that's something that definitely speak to your photographer about if you're wanting that, to have like just some more relaxed photos with key people or all of your guests. I like when people do like a run around to one song and try and like get a photo with every table or something like that. That's a good way to like make sure you have a photo with everyone, but the photos might not be that great if you're like running in between. Yes. Yeah. But yeah, that's definitely another thing that like maybe isn't in your timeline because it's not at this time this is what you're doing, but it's more so just a list of something that you want done on the night
at some point. Now while we're on the photos vibe,
I was going to say bandwagon.
Bandwagon. While we're on the
sounds
topic,
like I'm like 80 years
topic
old.
of photos. There we go. Encourage your guests to take as many photos as possible as well, which include you and your partner. And I feel like they're the ones that are the most candid as well a lot of the time. So it's so much fun, especially because you don't know most of the time that they're being taken. If it's like photos of your first dance or cutting the cake, speeches, all that kind of stuff. So it's like, it's so much fun getting those. Well, I think I'm not married, but I would assume it's so much fun getting those back the next day.
Can confirm.
Yeah, there we go. It is fun. And getting all the different POVs of the night.
Yeah. I think we got my sister-in-law made like a little video for us that like she'd just taken like little video like clips throughout the day and night, and she gave that to us the next day, and it was just like so sweet to kind of see it from her point of view, not from like the professional photographer's point of view who like just saw us like or just got photos of us posing and in those like formality kind of I don't know the word kind of moments, whereas hers were like, oh, like here's us just like during the speeches and you know, here's a shot of us that she got while we were with the photographer and little things like that we got the next day, and I was like, oh, this is so cute.
I love it.
And I think as well, those kind of photos, like we said at the very start, it can be so easy to feel like you forget everything that happened straight away. But getting those photos back from your guests that are just really candid of what was happening, and even if it doesn't include you, like it really just helps to like actually help you remember. And like store it in your brain as a memory and not just like, I have no idea what happened.
And with this as well, like I know a lot of people like to do like an unplugged ceremony. So no phones at the when you're actually getting married. But you can, once that's over, I feel like that doesn't need to carry through the entire day. You can still, as soon as like, I suppose because the ceremony is more, because the ceremony is kind of more sentimental and heartfelt, it can be really nice to not have phones pointing at you, especially even for photos as well. It's nice having phones away for that part. But then, as soon as that's over, like, let the phones come out. Let people enjoy taking photos of you. You'll enjoy getting those photos back. So
and I think as long as you're not feeling like you're getting papped and like you're Taylor Swift with like everyone's phones in your face, like you're probably not really going to notice it all that much. So, and you'll appreciate it and you'll have fun with it anyway.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, one last thing that I wanted to add on, which I think helps make your day more memorable, which it's kind of niche actually, but actually having a specific fragrance for the day.
Oh, yeah.
Because scent is one of the strongest things linked to memory, and that's it's actually like science behind it. I don't know what the science is, but I don't know what the stats are, but I just know that scent is one of the strongest forms of memory.
Fully.
So having a specific scent for your wedding day can actually help you remember things or
That's
trigger
so-
memories or that nice feeling from your wedding day.
God, I need to go smell my wedding fragrance.
Yes. Yeah. Like,
That's so smart.
yeah. And like I've done that for like holidays as well, where I'll literally bring like, I'll buy a little perfume, like a little travel one that I've never used before. And then every time I smell it, I'm like, ugh,
Smells like Italy.
I'm in Italy. Literally, it does.
Yeah, I
So
love that. This is unrelated, but this is a fun fact about Juliette. Juliette has a different perfume for every day of the week.
I've got a slight problem when it comes to scent.
It's honestly iconic.
Yeah.
I love
different
it
perfume
so
for every
much.
day of the week.
So good.
And then we've got the weekend collection.
Yes. Yeah. And the holiday collection.
And the holiday collection as well. So choosing one for my wedding day will be,
Oh, yeah, that's going to be
How
so
will I do
hard
it?
for you.
maybe I'll get it customized. Get it made.
Slay. Imagine.
That could be fun.
That could be so cute.
Yeah.
As like a bridal shower or
Yes.
something. You know, there's those
Yeah.
places that like you can make a custom
Yeah.
perfume.
Yes. Oh my God. Yeah.
Like
true.
you make your wedding day perfume.
as a little bridal shower thing.
Yeah.
There you go.
Done.
Heard it here first. All right, that brings us to the kind of end of the episode. We've still got our proposal diaries story to go. So let's get into it. I had been asking my now husband to organise something for us for months. A night out, a weekend away, a date night, just something. After months of pestering, he took the bull by the horns and ran with it. He very grumpily said fine, but that I would know nothing of it and it would be a surprise. I did my best to figure out what we were doing this one weekend, and he gave me all sorts of bum steers. What?
I think that means like not giving her the answer.
Okay.
Like what's the there's another I feel like there's another word for it.
I've never heard that in my entire life. Okay. When it came to packing for our weekend away, he told me to pack my scuba gear, hiking boots, outfits for nice dinners, even suggested I should pack a ball gown. I was lost with what we were doing and finally succeeded to going with it. The morning of, no idea where we were going, but knowing we were going somewhere, I get dressed in a nice but casual outfit. This is the first time he has ever told me that what I was wearing was not good enough. Ooh. I should have thought something was up.
He chose my outfit, a rather fancy cocktail dress for a car ride, but okay. We start the journey and he winds his way, making sure to confuse my directions so I have no clue where we are headed, to an air hangar, and says, "We are here." I was shocked. I was expecting to have to drive for hours. Needless to say, I had not started my makeup.
Oh.
She was going to do her makeup in the car.
Oh no.
I quickly start putting mascara on. He starts moving our bags to the plane. I was unaware that he had packed different bags with more appropriate attire. We are greeted by a kind pilot who seems a touch giddy. I remember saying to my now husband that he seems a bit off. ... He was hiding a secret. That would be so nerve-wracking.
I know.
To feel like your pilot is a bit off.
Yeah.
You're about to get in what I'm imagining is a small plane.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
The plane takes off and the pilot continues with my husband's plan to confuse me with where we are going. Heads north, south and east. We had the most incredible view over the WA coastline and my face was glued to the window. I kept guessing where we could possibly be heading. The secret would not be given up. The pilot starts to head west and of course we are headed to Rottnest.
Oh.
I turn to my husband to declare what I've discovered, and there he is on one knee, ring and box held out, smiling at me like the giddiest of men.
Oh, that's very cute.
That's so cute. A proposal in a plane?
Yeah.
Insane. Or the helicopter ones? Such a slay.
Oh. No, I can appreciate that they're stunning and beautiful proposals, but for me personally, would hate that.
Yeah,
I do not want to go in a helicopter or small planes. I get stressed on big planes.
Yeah, okay, that's fair. That was like,
Yeah.
that was so funny because I'm like such a slay, and then I look at Juliette and she's
That's like my worst nightmare.
No.
2 feet on the ground. Okay. That's where we were proposing. And a knee. Okay. On the ground.
One knee on the ground at a 90-degree, leg at a 90-degree angle.
Yes. No hunching.
Back straight.
Straight back. Posture.
Oh my goodness.
Okay.
Well,
That's very cute.
congratulations.
Yeah, congrats.
Yes. I mean, he's now your husband, so he did something right.
Right. Yes.
Thank you so much for sending in your proposal story. If you do want us to share your proposal story on the podcast, head to the form in our show notes. We cannot wait to hear from you. Thank you so much for joining us for this episode of the Save the Date podcast. We hope you learned something new, and if you're currently planning your wedding, congratulations, good luck, and have fun.
If you enjoyed today's episode, make sure you follow or subscribe and leave us a review wherever it is that you're listening.
Make sure to come and connect with us on our socials at the Save the Date podcast and join our Facebook group, the Save the Date community. We hope you have a wonderful day or night, and we'll be back with another episode next week. Bye.
Bye.